All right. Turn that down so we're not peaking quite so badly. All right. And I think we are live. Anyone in chat want to wave? Amazing. Cool. So the planes are just lining up here, getting ready to go. There we go. We should have some overlays here in a second. All right, so there's our schedule for the day. Hello, Baz from Nova Scotia. Hey, hello, Tyler. Welcome in. Might raise this tripod here a little bit more. That should be a little bit better. Cool. All right, a little less wind today. First plane of the day. In on that. And our long easy. All right. Now, so I know you guys are going to be asking for it. What were the qualifying times yesterday? And we did post them. Yesterday. So Tom McNerney came up in first place, followed very close behind by Andrew Finley, Peter Palmer, George Catalano, James Webb, Joe Carrijo, Timothy Slater, and Doug Glover, all in our first top 8 spaces. So those legacies are fast, very, very fast. Alright, so they are just out there forming up to come down the chute for the first official race at Las Cruces. And I found this out last night at the dinner. This is actually the first race outside of Reno since 1949. Where the cut for the... Yes, so there is... So we're doing 8 planes per heat, and there's 17 planes in total registered. For the mathematically inclined amongst you, you'll notice 8 times 3 is not 17. So what we're doing instead is the top 3 people from the bronze have the opportunity to move up to the silver, and the top 3 people from silver have the opportunity to move up to the gold on the same exact day. So that means if you were in bronze, there is an actual possibility you could fly in 3 races in the first day. We don't think that's going to happen, but it's possible. Oh, and welcome to the club there, Baz. And my auto zoom isn't working right now. All right. So I'm just keeping an eye out for them here, seeing when they arrive. And they will arrive here shortly. Fortunately, I don't have ADS-B on me. All right. Alright, they're behind the... Here we go. These are gold class, or sorry, our bronze class racers. Hello, Thomas. Kevin is way out ahead of those guys. Should get you a microphone so you can comment. Yeah. Ah. What is he? What engine does he have in the Long Easy? That's what we want to see. Focus. There we go. Yeah. He's just trying to get around him. top 3 or top 4? Top 4. Gotcha. Well, that'll be a good one. A whole lot less wind out today, that's for sure. This is our race for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. They're just giving us a show now. I think they're just showing off for the crowd. And here comes Kevin. First checkered flag in Las Cruces, Kevin Aldridge. Congratulations, Kevin. So we have a race here at the end for the last place as well. It's our long easy and our RV, Van's RV. And where's our long easy? Oh, gotcha. What a beauty. All right, so Thomas is going to give me some race results here for you guys. All right. Grid map of the course. So I had one, and I had it rendering last night. Then I went to bed at 1 a.m. Came back. Turns out it had failed to even start rendering. That's what happens. You're doing things the very, very last minute. I can get you show you the map here in a minute. Oh, did I bump a button? I think I did. All right, that looks a little bit better. All right, so what if our airshow performance is up and running now? As we recover all those planes, I'm just going to connect a couple more microphones for you guys. All right, so the long course is 7.49 miles. And the middle course, which is the other one we're using, is 6.45 miles. It's a little bit shorter. Eight-lap race, so the top 4 people in the bronze there, so the top half of the bronze is now moving up to silver. Oh yeah, air racing in the 1930s would have been amazing. All right, hear that? That's the sound of better microphones. That's the sound of wind noise, but we'll keep adjusting. All right, slam some Red Bull. Not that they're sponsoring or anything. And that's not the button I wanted. I wanted the schedule. There we go. So we have some opening ceremonies happening here in a few minutes. A bunch of air show performers, and then in about 2 hours we have our sport class silver race. And that is a lot of wind noise. Alright, so how are you guys all doing? You know, YouTube's now badgering me. Insert an ad. Oh, okay. Well, you guys now get an ad if you don't have premium. You have premium, thank you. I said it, there's only a few number of settings you can do on YouTube, and one of them is manual ads. There's another one that's like aggressive ads, and then relaxed ads. Like, I'm going to do manual ads because the worst that's going to happen is that we're going to be right in the middle of a race, and then YouTube's going to be like, now would be a great time to run an ad. No, it wouldn't be, YouTube. Let's check our audio settings here. That looks good. Turnout September will be as big as Reno. I'm not sure. I think it will be for the first year, mainly because Roswell. So Roswell's not actually far from here. I'm going to be taking a trip out there to Roswell here on Monday to go and just kind of check out the area, scope it out. Probably find a good vantage point to watch the races, and probably live stream as well. But for certainly the first year definitely will be as big as Reno. Maybe bigger. Maybe not as big as the final Reno, but it'll be big because everybody in Roswell will be like, we've never seen this before. Like, we want to go see this. You know, they can come out here to Las Cruces, but it's right in your backyard. You may as well. The question is, can Rah-Rah keep up the enthusiasm into the future? Can they keep up people's excitement into the second and third year? I don't have answers to that. It's just questions. But they could. Yeah, premium is definitely worth it if you watch a lot of YouTube, especially because you can get, like, I forget how bad ads are on YouTube because I've had premium for a couple of years now, and I'll go watch YouTube at like my parents' place, or my friends will bring up something on YouTube and be like, oh god, ads. Like, holy crap, this thing is just piled with ads. What is going on? I don't even see them anymore, so. And the creators get the same amount or more money if you have premium anyways, so. Yeah. I hope it will be huge too. Yeah, who's where? Yeah, we're pretty much as close as we can get. Yeah, I need to readjust some of my automatic zoom stuff here, because it is misbehaving. I just think these motors don't have enough torque to deal with the zooms. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So this isn't the same airport. This is Las Cruces, which is was about 3 hours to the east, I believe, or to the west. And about 3 hours away. There will be a race here in Las Cruces in October next year as well. Sport Class has confirmed that yesterday. And they're starting to haul planes out to stage them. September races are in Roswell, exactly, and October races will be here in Las Cruces. Yeah, a little more commentary. Yeah, we're actually going to be getting some of our race pilots in to do some commentary over the next, well, pretty much today. Thomas was here earlier, but he's ran off. He's doing a bunch of scorekeeping stuff, so he'll be able to give a little bit more commentary on a bunch of this stuff. I should go get some microphones out, so when they come over, we will be ready. Let's go. Measure 200 miles. Yeah, that sounds about right. Will all the class be racing at Las Cruces next year? No. This is so this is actually not hosted by RARA, the Reno Air Race Association. The Las Cruces races are done by the Sport Class. Was it SCAR? Sport Class Air Racing? I can't remember the exact acronym, but it's the Sport Class. So they've been spending the past few years here preparing to be able to host their own races, which is what they're doing. So to be able to host a race like this, you need to get it's a sporting license, a special sporting license, and that has to be issued by the FAA. You have to prove that you guys, you know what you're doing. You have to be able to prove that you guys are capable of holding an event like this safely. You're able to put together a good track, and there's a whole bunch of criteria about making these types of tracks. Certain distances from crowds, for instance, certain G-forces, maximum G-forces that they're allowed to turn in corners, things like that. So they have been, so last year they ran a race here. It wasn't an actual official race, it was just an exhibition, and effectively showing the FAA that in fact they do know what they're doing and that they can handle that. And of course they pass out flying colors, and that's why we're here this year. to do the first official race here at Las Cruces. And aside from RAWA, they are the only organization that is allowed to run air races in the United States presently. And this at Las Cruces here, this is the first air race outside of Reno since 1949. So when the Cleveland Air Race is closed. So this has been a pretty big effort on behalf of the sport class, and they've come through with kind of flying colors. They've figured out exactly what they need to do and made it happen. That's also why this year you're not going to see any rookies. So there's no rookies racing this year here at Las Cruces. It's all experienced pilots. They've been flying for several years. And that's mostly just to make sure that there's no incidents. And we're not talking, major incidents. Even minor things like, not being able to land straight on the runway, knocking off a runway light or something would be enough of an incident to, it wouldn't be bad, but it would, definitely spread some concerns. So this is the best way to do that, to manage that, is to only have, professional racers. So, hello. Got Armando here. Hello.
Very professional setup.
Yeah, it's now that we actually have, a table. That's the big one. This is having a table. So it's going pretty good. We got what do we got? 72 people watching right now, and it'll pick up.
That was quite the finish, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was fantastic.
Nowhere else to get 5 across finish.
Yep. It was pretty tight.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, here's this that's a Texan 2, right? I'm gonna go and hide that. Yes, they do have a website. It is a radial. That is very true. It is a radial. So the Texans, the T6s, or the Harvards, as we call them in Canada, they are the ones that race in Reno. This is the updated version of them, the newer version after that. These don't race in Reno, or didn't race in Reno. I think they had a class for them for a short while, but they're not a currently active one. Aerobatic guys, always flying right over my head. As far as I can get over there. should have built a chat GPT bot to do air show commentary. Just be like, this is this type of airplane, this is this person, Google for it. And then it would Google for it and just start talking in an AI robotic voice. Would have been hilarious. It's a lot easier to film the aerobatic box in Reno because I was so far out. This, I'm going like lock to lock on the tripod. T-28. Yep, that sounds about right. Trojan, Undaunted Air Shows, Chuck Coleman, Aerobatic. Yep, that's all of them. Yeah, the Chuck Coleman and what was the other guy? They're doing some incredibly low-level stuff, which is really cool. Those extra 300s and Edge 540s, those are just crazy, crazy airplanes. Now, for those of you that love the air shows, which is, let's face it, most of us, I have a video coming up here about the Oshkosh night air show where I got to interview Kyle Fowler about how he actually manages all of his fireworks on his long easy during the night show. So I got a bunch of cool things on that one, some nice renders of that, but a really nice interview with him about it. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, it's a good opportunity to see that. A 10 megapixel camera. Well, this shoots in 4K. So what's 4K? That's about 8 megapixel, I think. Yeah, because I guess that's 4,000 by 2,000. So that's 8 megapixel. A bit of a view of what's going on with the crowd over here. Focus dialed in a little bit more. Pull up our schedule. I suppose I could probably bump that forward, shouldn't I? Schedule. Amazing. "75-year-old airplane." Mostly because we don't build new airplanes anymore. We just keep flying the old ones. Not that they're bad airplanes. Our next X, just taking to the skies here. While they're doing that, I'm going to readjust some of my lenses here. So bear with me for just a second. So Undaunted is just getting started there. I'm just getting the last part of this lens removed over. All right. And we're back. Zero that. That looks about right. Alright, it was on the wrong channel. That was what was going on. Right. This lens is a bit longer. By a bit longer, I mean a lot longer. Boom. Come on. Hello.
Kevin,
Hi, Kevin.
meet you.
You too.
I'm one of the, I made the timing, and I was curious. Asking, you don't have anything that would help me with put a cell phone on, then I'll have to sit down for a long time. Like a tripod or something that because we want to do backups just in case there's issues with time and we can go back and watch the video. That way I don't have to sit there and hold my phone the entire time.
So, do you need to attach a camera or just an iPhone?
Just an iPhone. There's nothing that's going to stand so I can just an iPhone through it.
Alright. Well, I was going to find you also something to attach with an actual proper camera. So the proper camera you can hold as well. But, it's got everything you need in it.
Perfect.
Holds out like that.
Yep.
There's a little tripod wheelie in there. Pops out like that. Matches to your phone.
Okay.
And just pull that out. Goes on there. Just lock it in. There's an adjustment right there.
Yep.
There's an adjustment right there. Which tilts.
Beautiful.
And holds up nicely. And
Thank you,
fair
sir.
enough.
You don't see me unless it's a must.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. So, I need to swap batteries. I think this battery might just be not enough voltage for this thing. Alright. Hide that guy. Let's see if we can find these guys. That's amazing. Alright. Chuck Coleman starts at $380. Wow. Ah, yeah. This isn't a heat. So this is right now we're just on the aerobatic side. All right. Pop back open the schedule here. So in about 54 minutes, we should see the silver race going. All right, just get one more camera here set up for you. Is the video's running. Okay, so what else is there to say about the sport class here? Hopefully we'll get someone, wrangle someone over. They're doing donuts over there. Awesome. I should probably make a post. Oh, we got some stats. Oh, Thomas did post. We're good. Miss Tuesday actually post. So, let's start loading in our official results. So, sport, bronze. Oh, maybe I don't have official times. So that was our bronze pairing. I'm going to poke Thomas, see if I can get these silver pairings. Now Reno, we had a full day. Like, we were knocking things out as they were coming in. But a little bit, obviously there's less racing classes here, so it's not like we have a full day packed out. But this will still enough racing. So 3 good races. Sorry, three good races per day. So the one thing from last night that we found out was that Andrew Finley, let's just pull it up here. Andrew Finley did not qualify in first place. Instead, we had Tom McNerney qualified in first, followed by Andrew Finley there. And there's so many of these planes that are within like 1 or 2 seconds of each other, or within like 5 seconds of each other. If you just look at all the times there, just how close they all actually are. So, getting a bit of wind noise again. But you can see that between first and third place there, Tom, Andrew, and Peter, they're all 1 second apart. So that's super, super close. And then you get even down to George, James, and Joe, and they're all within 5 seconds of each other. These are all going to be really good, really, really good solid races between these guys. And that sound you're hearing is wind and the sound of engines. Yeah. KXP Racing, yeah. I assume you know Doug Villartoya? Oh, it started raining. A little bit better focus. There's a long easy. And these are your silver class. Now you'll notice NXP Racing over here. Kind of just see him. He's in the silver class, but he's in the top of the silver class because everybody who's in the top 3 or bottom 3 of each, I guess it's the top 4 of bronze, but the top 3 and the bottom 3 of silver and gold actually get to race in both classes and move up and down. Well, you guys are looking at them. I'm going to go load in some data here that Thomas just sent me. Romeo, very nice. Silver. Slater, Glover, Colleen, All right. Looks like we might be a little bit ahead of schedule then for silver race. The numbers I was having was timings I had from them was to start a little bit later, but that's all right. Here in the background, the announcer's booth, which is coming from all the way over there. We tried to tie into their audio, but unfortunately they're playing all copyrighted music. And YouTube does not like copyrighted music. They would basically take the stream offline, so not much I can do about that. Should be just getting started here. Make sure I'm recording. We're supposed to have some other people out here. Go 45, first, last, baby. Should be first in silver, and then last in gold, which is still respectable. The old Ricky Bobby style. Ain't first or last. Never been to a NASCAR race. Kind of like to go someday, but the Nemesis, those are those, what are they, NXTs or something? Those are beautiful little planes. So weird looking, but like just, they look fast. I saw one of them racing in Reno, was it last year? They look like they're designed to just fit all engine and just put a little person in the back. Any minute now, we should see them coming down, taking off. Haven't seen them yet. I don't know which runway they're going to be taking off from, but it's presumably one of the cross runways. So here, there's 3 runways instead of just the 2, which gives them a lot of really good landing opportunities. In Reno, there's only there's 2 runways, but there's a 3rd that you could really use if you needed to in an emergency. Plane are probably pretty badly banged up, but if it's an emergency, it's probably pretty banged up anyways. So that also gives them a bunch of different opportunities for taking off. Our first, second, out comes the glass stars, glass airs, not glass stars. There's number 45. All right. See if we can see them forming up here. So, like at Reno, the pilots are all going to form up out in the wild blue yonder. So they all form up in a line abreast formation, so 9 planes across, because they got a pace plane. They fly around the back of the track, and then come down 8 abreast. The pace plane will verify they're all in position. Nobody's too far ahead, nobody's too far behind. And then they'll call over the radio, "Gentlemen, you have a race." And then they're allowed to throttle up and go. So right now, they all just took off. They've all formed up. They're at the way back side of the course, which means they got to go all the way around the course, then out to the front side before they drop in on the chute. Now in Reno, you'll remember, they go around behind Peavine, but here there's no mountains out there. So just kind of go off into the field. All just getting excited, ready to go. So sport class here does all air starts. At Reno, some of the classes do ground starts, like Formula One, but those can be a bit sketchy. So this is a little bit safer to do. Can't turn all the way around. A bit blurry. Yeah, I'm trying to get it a little bit focused in. It's a little difficult to get it focused. The plane's so small, even with my focus assists on. It's a bit sketchy. Alright, looks like they're lining up for the chute. we go. Oh, we had someone pull off immediately. So we have a really good race out here for it looks like kind of first, second, and third almost. Really, third and fourth though seem to be the closest. Focus. got him. But can he hold him? It's on that outside track. And he's ahead of him, and he's closing the door. He's got him. I do believe that's Kevin Eldridge for third place, which means, well, if that's the case, if that's Kevin, I believe it is, then he could fly all 3 races today. See what our guys on the backside of the course are doing here. One last little race around the back. Can he get him? And across the line. Yeah, no worries, Fueling Sky. So, it looked there to me like Kevin came in third place. And if Kevin came in third place, then that means he's going to be racing in bronze, silver, and gold today. Which we didn't think was going to happen, but must mean he's been sandbagging yesterday in qualifications. In the qualifiers. They're all just flying around up, doing a cool down. So after each race, they've got to spend a few minutes just circling around up at higher altitudes. Because remember, these planes have been, pretty much going full bore, 100% throttle for, 10, 15 minutes now. 10 minutes, I guess. And, that's pretty hard on an airplane engine. Especially because a lot of these guys, well, I don't know about these guys, but specifically a lot of the race classes, they tune up the engines quite substantially. So they're going even harder than they do stock. So, like I know in Formula One, they're running O200 engines. And instead of running those things at 2,500, 2,700 RPM, they're running like almost 4,000. Some of them over 4,000 RPMs. And those engines are stressed, to put it lightly, but so are the pilots too. The pilots are pretty stressed. They're a lot of adrenaline from turning 8 laps next to other people, trying to pass, go fast. They go and once they exactly. Very good job, all. Very good job. There's a couple good races there. Schedule coming up. Not sure if we're ahead of schedule or if they've just moved things around, because there's some of the air show acts I don't think we've seen yet. So they might have just moved them a little bit later. The schedule was subject to change, so. Now, the one thing we haven't heard back from yet is about pylons, pylon cuts. So we'll hear about that shortly, whether or not there's been any pylon cuts. And that will give us our pairings for the gold this afternoon. So in Reno, you guys will remember, the pylons are effectively telephone poles with culverts on top. They look like they're oil drums, but they're quite substantially bigger. I spent a bit of time out there, and yeah, they're big. They're actually culverts they use underneath roads to let water through. Yes, we are racing tomorrow as well. Tomorrow's gonna be the finals. So this is you can call this the semifinals. You can call it the first day of racing, but qualifiers Friday, racing Saturday, and then finals on Sunday. So today everybody's, pushing it to try and get into whichever heat they want to get into. So that tomorrow they can place wherever they want to place. But there could be people moving up and down, or I guess not really down, but people moving up tomorrow as well. But so the pylons here, they're not like the telephone poles in Reno. In Reno, they could permanently install those, and especially like on the big courses, the big pylons were there pretty much all year round. I don't think they took most of them down. I think most of them stayed up all year. And but here they don't have that luxury to be able to leave big pylons like that up. It doesn't make a lot of sense to put up, big telephone poles with culverts on them at an airport like this. So instead, what they're using this year, and I believe last year as well, is they're using big telehandlers. So, work buckets to work on, lighting poles and screens and stuff. They basically just take them, put them as high in the air as they possibly can, make sure they're not any kind of gray colors. They're, orange or blue or whatnot, and then they put a big orange sign on top of them. So let's see if we can go see one of those. I can zoom in and see if we can find one, because they are out here. This one's real easy to see. There we go. So that's what our pylons here look like at Las Cruces. Makes them temporary. They're fairly easy to set up. Telehandlers aren't that expensive to rent. Gives us a nice easy way to set those up. Now obviously that does pose a little bit of a difference. At Reno they were able to set up K-rails and stuff pointing this is the direction of the pylon, whereas here they don't have those permanent K-rails, and getting those out there would be a bit of a challenge. So instead what they do is the pylon judges go out there with their cars and they line up their cars in line. If they can turn on their headlights, they turn on their headlights to help the pilots see them, and that becomes the kind of a guide path along the ground. So it's a little bit different than Reno, obviously, and very I don't know what the right word would be. Very enterprising, very clever, very resourceful of them. So the pylon judges in Reno, the way they would judge the actual course and course cuts is they were looking up through the culvert, and if they saw any part of the plane through that culvert, they called it a cut. And because it's a tube, it meant that it effectively gave you a kind of a cone and that cone, they, you know, the closer down you were to the actual pylon, you know, the closer in you can get. But the higher you went, you had to be further and further out. So that's why it was always most advantageous to stay as low to the ground as possible. Now here, because they don't have those culverts on top, it's a little bit different, and they effectively just have to kind of judge if they're in line. And it's a little bit more of a challenge than with those cones. And it looks like we have ourselves I'm not sure if this is the Edge or the Extra 300. This is another air show act. We're just waiting on the gold to get going. They're going to be tabulating all the silver results right now. Now timing is done fairly similar to how it's done in Reno. Reno's a little bit more sophisticated right now, but only marginally. And they're kind of handling it the same way we did in China. We went into the China races. So in Reno, what they do is they set up a camera and they point it right at the home pylon, right directly across from the home pylon. And they set it up, it's running like 60 frames a second, all zoomed in. And when a plane crosses that line, they do a bit of math and kind of average it out. So they'll, you know, one frame the plane will be before the pylon, the next frame it'll be right after the pylon. They're just moving so quick, that's kind of how it is. They do a little bit of math, figure out exactly what time it would have crossed that threshold, and that gives them their time. So from gentlemen start your race until they see the plane come around the pylon, they're able to do that. Now that has caused problems in the past because in some of the classes, cough cough biplanes, all the planes kind of look the same. So they were having a couple times they've had issues distinguishing which plane is which. He's just warming up his plane up there, so I'm just gonna set this down over here and check out the guy. So they had a little bit of problems figuring out which one was which, even though they had the recorded video. So they had to go back to the tapes and stuff, and there was controversy in the past. But that worked fairly well. But the problem is, setting something like that up, you gotta have a really good vantage point and a team doing that. Whereas here, we're a little bit, you know, it's still early days in these races. So instead, what they do is they sit with a stopwatch, and as the planes go past, they basically hit the stopwatch as it passes by. And it's the same thing we did in China. We had a group of several locals. I think we set up, it was like 4 or 5 per airplane, and all they did is do timing for the one airplane they're supposed to be looking at. And then they would average it. So they'd throw out the high number, throw out the low number, and get the middle 3 and use that average. So obviously humans have human errors, and just throw in a few more and you can average them out. So Kelly managed all that. And they're doing the same thing here. Same type of thing. I haven't seen exactly how they're doing it, but very similar stopwatch. Stopwatch tech. But they also have a backup camera just in case there's any timing discrepancies. In case someone's like, wait, my GPS says I was actually faster than that. So let's face it, Everybody has GPS nowadays. And all these guys, after each race, they go and pull all their data. Which, by the way, I may have one well-known racer's race data and a 3D model of his airplane that I spent way too much time making. So we may be working on turning that into a little bit of a video for you guys. Nice tail slide there. We have a couple L-39s. Getting ready to perform for us. Some of these maneuvers, oh man, I don't know if I can handle them. I don't get sick when flying, but damn. Extra 300. Double check that that's still outputting the correct settings. Very nice. Realized I wasn't recording in 4K there for the past little bit. It's only recording in HD. Well, we can't have that. So you guys are getting the HD 30 stream, which is actually compressed like 4 times just to get it out over the Starlink. Starlink is fantastic, but at the end of the day, it's still just Starlink. So, you know, we're literally sending bits to space and then back down to the ground and then to anywhere in the world. This 30 years ago would be magic. And today is, oh, well, I can't get a 4K stream out. I know, first world problems, right? But recording as much as I can here in 4K 60. So I'm going to be posting a bunch of that race footage, that 4K 60 race footage on my channel there in the coming weeks. I've got a whole bunch from Reno last year as well, which I've been meaning to just dump. I'll probably dump those on the private one, so the members only area. There's also members only Discord as well. Plus there's a public Discord, and everyone just uses the public Discord. Banned from members only. Well, we saw what you did. Kevin's one of our active members over there in the Discord. He may be getting his name written in the sky as soon as I get back home. I don't even want to know what the weather is looking like. I literally filled my plane up to go and do that flight like 3 weeks ago. Just have not had the time. There's a whole other Discord. It's just a channel on the Discord. It just appears if you're a member. Or a Twitch subscriber, or something else. I know it's YouTube and Twitch, for sure. Yeah, we got ourselves some jets. So who's all coming to the Roswell races next year? I certainly will be. That means pretty much the only person who actually uses Discord. Well, yeah, so I haven't been streaming. There's actually a few people still do message me, but I haven't been doing a lot of streaming in the past 6 or 8 months. So instead focusing on doing other content and traveling, and I've got a whole bunch of content queued up to get released. I might have to check, see if Twitch integration might be broken. I'll fix it. Schedule. It's so broken. Yeah, YouTube membership can be a little bit weird. Here we go. Let's go. Straight above my head. Can't even see him now. Disappearing behind there. Yes, this is the L39s. That is correct. Yeah, the wind's quite a bit better than yesterday. Also, the microphone set up slightly differently, but the wind is substantially better. Climb rate on these things. It's just bananas. Playing a bit of chase with each other. Reform up. Love those L39s. Those raced in Reno, and they will race in Roswell as well, as far as we know. So I was having some conversations last night. We don't quite know what's going on with the Roswell course. They haven't picked it yet. So that's still a little bit up in the air. Design those courses so that they have a lot of safe zones and not too high G's and all those kinds of constraints. So it's a bit of a challenge to do all that. We know they can do it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's nice they've got the extra sense of speed from the clouds. It gives you that kind of parallax. Completely right. Yesterday the visibility was pretty bad because it was the wind would pick up, dust would pick up, and then it was hard to see people. Backside of the course, some of the planes just blend in. Couldn't even see the mountains back there. Quote unquote mountains. Large hills. Almost looks like they're down there on the course. Of course, the jet class and the sport gold in Reno would use the same course. 'Obviously just a performance, not an actual air show, or not an actual air race. Months away from Reno. Or Roswell. 11 months away from Roswell. Pick up some stuff that's starting to fly away on me with this wind. Starlink box almost took off. Kevin Eldridge just pulled back into the pits. Does that mean he's not racing in gold today? Alright, I think we are back. I've got streaming, I've got media ingest, we are good. Sorry about that. Someone stepped on my power cable and everything went out. Well, Starlink went out. A lot of my stuff has battery backup, but unfortunately, the Starlink is not one of them. But that's okay. We haven't missed anything. The Sport Gold is just getting started. They're just powering up the airplanes. I'm going to go get you a view of right now. There's Tom. Well, not the guy with the hat, but the guy with the spinning thing on the front. And there, Mr. Andrew Findlay. Focus. There we go. That gorgeous paint on number 77. 69, the best number on the field. I am a child, don't worry. All right. I think everything's back started again. So this race is going to be a bit of a grudge match between these two. They came so close to each other in qualifying. Tom and Andy. And let's check our leaderboard. So, and Peter Balmer is going to be our third place guy out there. I have a mic here for someone else. Yeah, it's that's why I set up a whole separate setup to automatically detect and scene switch and whole 9 yards. Keep the stream online even if the Starlink goes down. Alright, so we're just within a few minutes here of Sport Gold. Definitely improved after the reset. Yep. Yeah, sometimes Starlink is like that, where it'll be, you know, it'll be just fine. It's doing a pretty good job, and then you reboot it, and it just figures itself out. When I was doing the Reno ones, they released a map like 2 weeks before Reno that was showing the Starlink coverage, and all of the U.S. was like rated as good but not excellent, except for Nevada, and that's because that's where their main downlink is for the Gigafactory. So Nevada was ranked as excellent, and I took advantage of that. I was able to get pretty decent quality out. Of course, saying that, I also was kind of a total idiot and didn't color correct the cameras, so they were all a little bit ugly. At least on the stream. That was actually a LUT issue on my video switcher. Oh, we got some gold pairings here too. Not that we don't know them, but Sport Gold. Tom McNearney is our first guy. James Webb. George. Hello, hello. I am just adding these last guys in for the pairing information for the overlays. Timothy Slater. Doug Glover. Alright, leaderboard, gold. Show. Magic. Alright, I got a microphone for you. That is. Let's get... Alright, say hi to the people. Try again there. Why am I getting nothing on your channel? Try it now.
How about now?
There we go. It's because
All right.
I was recording and didn't have that channel turned on. Alright, Thomas. Say hi to the people.
Hello, Internet.
Hello, Internet. Yes, indeed. So Thomas is... I don't know how to describe you. You do everything. You do everything around here.
To answer your question, I work on Andrew Finley's plane, and in general, anyone else who asks me for help. But then this weekend, I've been also helping with doing timing as well.
Very cool. So tell us a little bit how they actually do the timing here at Las Cruces. I might have a longer cable. Tell us a little bit about how they actually handle the timings here at Las Cruces.
So the timing is, for right now, since we're getting all infrastructure and SOP set up, is we'll have people at the finish line with stopwatches, and then from when they release down the chute to when they cross the finish line for the first time is not counted. That's, I guess, lap 0 if you want to think of it that way. So they cross the finish line first, that starts lap 1, and then they do 6 laps, and then at the end they'll send all the times to the scorekeepers, and then I will run over there and type all those numbers into a spreadsheet, and that will calculate times. It includes pylon cuts, things like that.
Oh, very cool. So now, so that they start the time when they first come around the home pylon. Does that mean the initial lap after they come down the chute, does that not really count?
Not really count, yeah. In order to count that, you need a little more information on the distance covered, and we just don't have that yet. So simple solution is just not count it.
Gotcha.
And I believe Formula One at Reno was actually the same way, because you would have the horse start on the runway.
Yep.
And because there was that green light on the home pylon,
yep,
and that would only ever turn on once the first guy would cross the line. Actually, I know in Formula One and biplane, it would really screw some of the other guys over, because the slowest guy, if he's 10 miles an hour, 10, 20 miles slower than first place, he might still be coming around pylon 6 when first place is actually starting the time. And I know that would cause some issues with bumping people up and down. So
yeah, I noticed that, especially with biplane, that was a big problem too, because they did, so in Formula One, they do them all at the same time, whereas biplane was each row had separate
right,
separate
they had a
intervals.
handicap.
Yep.
I don't think they bumped up in the middle of the week either. I don't know if that was a way to control that or not, but anyways.
Yeah, it was a very, very different setup here. So I'm not seeing them out there. They're out there somewhere doing their form up. We'll find them. Now the guys who are sitting at home pylon with the timer, do you have a couple people doing each plane, or is it one person for each plane, or?
It's one person per plane.
Gotcha.
Yep. And then, so when the race is finished, all the scorers get a bunch of notifications from all of these text messages coming in with the times. So sometimes we'll get, if they'll do the actual lap tracking, then I think I'll have the ability to go back and actually get real lap times, which we haven't had before.
Yep.
Because the way that Reno used to do it is they would do it with high-speed cameras, and they would count frames and then divide by frames per second, and you get your timing that way. So, which means you could get individual lap times if you wanted, but it just means you have to watch an 8-minute race for like an hour as you count through all the frames as each plane passes every single lap. And then Reno has, hundreds of
volunteers, yeah.
Well, hundreds of races, right? Or of heats.
Yeah.
Maybe not hundreds.
So
tens of heats.
Yeah.
With 8 airplanes each.
Yeah, exactly. They got 6 classes, each doing about 3 races per day. So, yeah, you get the 18 races per day across an entire week of about 7 days worth of racing.
Yeah.
What's 7 times 18? I'm terrible.
We'll do 7 times 20 is 140. So
yeah, a lot of races.
It's
a lot of races. They had a lot to do.
Yeah. So.
At that point, you have to build a pretty good system, a pretty robust system to make that happen.
Yeah, I know you and I talked about doing that. We just didn't make it happen.
Yeah.
But there's still time.
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
Yeah. The ideal would be to have high precision GPS or something, and then that makes it easy. But At the same time, high precision GPS isn't actually that high precision either.
Yeah, we have 2 GPS systems that are in Andy's airplane and Tom McNerney's plane.
Ah.
So hopefully we'll be able to get good data from all of those and then compare all of the results. So
I'd love to get the data from that. So we got to figure out who to talk to.
they're right there.
Oh, yeah, I see them. I can't get the camera around that far. Camera's got a bit of a lock problem. Joe. Oh, did I spell Joe's name wrong? I did. That's my bad. I'm sorry about that.
What's his name?
Racers.
What's his name?
All right, and we go to. There we go. Thank you very much, Dennis. I can fat finger things sometimes. Sometimes. Usually. Yeah, we're live streaming. Gotta be a little careful with all the stuff. We had somebody trip over one of the power cables earlier and kill us right in the middle of streaming. So. They will be coming down the chute any second now. Means I'm gonna hide that for us. Do you mind hopping out of here? Yeah, perfect.
Got him over there. Bye.
Yep, I see them. Cool, thank you. Here we go. The first gold race here at Las Cruces, sport class.
All right, clean line. Top 2 are pulling away.
They're all still a little bit bunched together.
Yeah, in general it takes them about a lap to get spooled up in terms of bringing the power and the mixture and the prop all up together. You only have one hand, you got 3 knobs. Andy's making a move.
Yes, he is.
If he can stack him through this turn, then he should be able to blast past him on the front stretch. But
well, I noticed Andy's speeds were only about 330, and we know he's done 400 in Reno.
yeah, we've been fighting fuel system gremlins. He had a boost pump go bad on the way out here,
Oh,
and so we found that had sent some stuff downstream, and his fuel system is it's fuel injected, so all the injectors were clogged up. So we've replaced those and cleaned them, and everything should be running more like normal.
oh, he's ahead of him, but can he?
He's ahead
can
and
he
going in
close
the
that
turn.
gap?
Oh, he lost some distance on the turn there.
Yeah, he lost a lot of distance. Andy was really far and real wide out there.
Yeah, making a pass is actually really difficult. Like imagine driving down the highway only looking out your left window. Don't actually try that. But
Probably a bad idea.
but when you're flying behind the guy you're chasing him, you're basically looking forward and at the plane you're chasing all at the same time, watching your instruments.
And your altitude and all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Once you get side by side with someone, you're still trying to fly straight, while also looking sideways at the guy you're trying to pass. So it becomes a different challenge. But the trick to passing is if you can stack the guy going through the turn so that you don't have as far a distance to go around,
Yep.
then it minimizes the speed differential you have to carry. Yeah, so you can see how Andy is not just horizontally outside of him, but above.
We got another good race here, filling in here for, was that third, fourth, and fifth? I'm going to keep us over here on our first place guys, because they are, Andy and Tom are.
Yeah, Andy had a much better turn that time around, so he didn't lose much ground on the backstretch. Oh, he has a lot of momentum this time.
Ooh,
Wow, he just blew past.
wow, he just ripped past him, didn't he?
Here's all the power we've been missing. Is that 44 up top in third?
I'm having a, take a look here. It's hard to say.
All right, as long as Andy doesn't cut a pylon, we'll be good.
Yeah.
Oh, battle for third.
Battle. This is a good battle for third.
So that's Peter Balmer on top and 44. And I think it's 77 down low. All right, Andy's opening up now.
I'm gonna have to zoom out so I can actually catch him in the crosshairs. He's so fast. Feels a bit slower that time, but I think it's because he's got so much on him.
It's actually nice from this angle. You can see them when they bank over. So that's George Catalano in third in 77. Then the guy up high is Peter Balmer in 44. And then James Webb is the third one in line.
They're all like right next to each other there. It's kind of racing we'd like to see. Competitive.
All right, white flag lap.
White flag.
I believe 44 actually qualified faster than 77, so 77's moved up a spot.
That's good. Well, good for good for him, I guess.
Oh,
Can he catch him? He has one lap left to do it.
44's got some altitude.
Yeah, which means he's got spare energy.
Yeah. He might be able to slingshot around him on the backstretch. But then he has to on the back end too. Well, looks like he's got him.
Looks like it. Can he close the door before the turn?
Got to make the turn.
Oh, he's high.
Yep, he banked first. Yeah, I think he's got him.
I think he does too.
All right, Andy just finished.
What is going on?
That was weird. Did you see that? Something happened.
Yeah, something did. I was focusing on them there. I got someone's head in the way right now.
Checker. What? 44's. Wait. Andy's entering the course again on the backside.
Oh, not the checkered flag?
I don't know. I think everyone's coming back down.
Oh, maybe this clouds? Not entirely sure what's happening.
You're doing an extra lap just to make sure.
Someone maybe flagged too soon?
All right, there's what? Still one plane on the course still? Someone back there. I don't know who that is though.
Oh yeah, I see him.
There's another one too. There's James. He's, what is that? Joe, maybe? I don't know. All right. Cool.
Cool.
Now we'll go see if it was a clean race.
Yeah. Hello, hello. I can turn your mic on. All right. I think you're off there on number 3. Hello. For sports class. Yeah. It's pretty good. Got a lot of good footage today. Good footage, a lot of people hanging out in the chat. Got all 100 people in the chat right now.
Thomas was mentioning that. Okay. So presumably using like high frequency GPS on that. As well, whereas here they're just doing two-dimensional. I don't know. There you go. You got everything you need. Yeah, and it's plug it right into the ship power. Yeah. I did April. I did That's exactly what I did with my airplane as well. Now my plane's not exactly a fast airplane, but it's fantastic. They're so good at that. data to be able to plot it and actually visualize it in 3D rendering. Yeah, well, I've got a really good one designed for like cinema. So yeah, it's really great because I've got the whole act loaded in there, the whole nine yards and everything. So. That's exactly what I do with my cameras as well. I put in dummy battery packs in all of them, so they don't heat up and they just run all day. Yep, this one's got the door on, but the other two cameras I got, doors are all off all the time. That's awesome. So, looks like that is it for today. Nice conversation with the guy who's trying out a bunch of GPS tracking stuff. So I'm very glad I got a chance to chat with him. Yeah, and it looks like everybody else here in the stands is all going home. It looks like that's it for the day. We do have, I don't know if you can see it, we have a storm coming in. So I'm going to call the stream here for today. I will talk to you guys all tomorrow. Tomorrow is the gold class. We are going to have a bunch more people coming in to talk. And I will see you guys then. And let me go find that window so I can quit the stream. All right, thanks guys.